Japan in the 1980s was a society built on trust, order, and a sense of communal safety. Few things symbolize this more than the country's iconic vending machines. By 1985, there were over 5 million vending machines scattered across the nation, selling everything from hot coffee to cold sodas and even full meals. These machines were so integrated in the daily life that people thought nothing of buying a drink from them at any hour, in any neighborhood. They were a symbol of Japanese efficiency and reliability until one spring day when the ordinary act of grabbing a drink turned into a deadly gamble. On April 30th, 1985, in the city of Fukuyama in Hiroshima Prefecture, Harry Otsu, a 50-year-old old man, was on his way to enjoy a day of fishing. He stopped at a vending machine and purchased 2 bottles of Ornament C, a popular vitamin drink. On top of the machine, he noticed a 3rd bottle, apparently left behind. In Japan, it wasn't unusual for people to find drinks left on top of vending machines sometimes, as they were often forgotten or sometimes intentionally left as a kind gesture, or even as part of a company promotion. Harry, seeing the extra bottle, decided to take it with him. He drank it, likely thinking little of it at the time. But within hours, Harry began to feel violently ill. He was rushed to the hospital, but the doctors were unable to save him. He died the next morning. The cause of death was Paraquat poisoning. Paraquat is a highly toxic herbicide, commonly used in agriculture, but even a tiny amount can be fatal if ingested. In the 1980s, Paraquat was unfortunately a common means of suicide in Japan, but this case was different. Someone had deliberately poisoned a drink and left it for a stranger to find. At first, Harry Otsu's death seemed like a tragic, isolated incident, but as the weeks went by, similar cases began to emerge. The pattern was always the same. A drink, usually Ornament C or another popular beverage, left on or near a vending machine, and a victim would consume it, believing it was safe. The poisoning spread across western and central Japan, and eventually even Tokyo was affected. The randomness of the attack was especially terrifying, as anyone could be a victim at any time, in any place. The killer's method was both simple and insidious. In 1985, Otsuka Pharmaceutical, the maker of Ornament C, was running a buy one, get one free promotion. Customers could occasionally find an extra bottle dispensed or left on top of the machines. The murderer exploited this, tampering with bottles, injecting them with Paraquat, or, in one case, Disaquat, another deadly herbicide, and placing them where unsuspecting people would find them. Sometimes, the bottles were resealed so expertly that it was impossible to tell they had been opened. The victims came from all walks of life. There was no clear pattern, no connection between them, no shared background, no reason for them to be targeted. They were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. The known victims, whose names and stories have been preserved in news reports and police reports, include Harry Otsu, 52, the first known victim who died in Fukuyama after drinking a poisoned Ornament C on April 30th, 1985. Takashi Sakai, 44, an executive who drank 2 vitamin drinks on September 5th and died 6 weeks later. Haru Otsu, 52, who drank from a free bottle of Ornament C in Tokyo on September 11th and died 52 hours later. A 22-year-old university student who died after drinking a real gold beverage on September 12th. A 30-year-old man in Etchison who found a cola drink beneath the vending machine on September 9th and died 3 days later on September 22nd. A 45-year-old man who died on September 22nd after drinking 2 real gold drinks. And the list goes on from there, and the final known victim was a 17-year-old girl from the Kodama district, Saitama, who died a week after consuming a cola drink in November of 1985. Notably, she was the only female victim among the 12 known deaths. In total, At least 13 people lost their lives, and 35 others were hospitalized with symptoms ranging from vomiting and convulsions to organ failure. The suffering was immense. Paraquat poisoning is excruciating, often causing irreversible damage to the lungs, liver, and kidneys. For many, there was little hope of survival once the symptoms began. As the death toll rose, fear swept across Japan. The vending machine, once a symbol of convenience and safety, became an object of suspicion. People stopped accepting drinks that weren't clearly purchased. Parents warned their children. Sales of bottled beverages plummeted. The media covered the story relentlessly, with headline warnings of the dangers and updates on new cases. The nation was gripped by a sense of collective anxiety. The police response was immediate and massive. One of the largest investigations in Japanese history was launched. Officers were dispatched to monitor vending machines, and beverage companies worked with authorities to develop tamper-proof seals and new safety protocols. Over 12 million warning stickers were posted on vending machines across the country, urging people not to drink anything left behind. The government also moved to restrict the sale of Paraquat and similar chemicals, making it harder for would-be copycats to obtain them. Despite these efforts, the killer remained elusive. There were no fingerprints, no eyewitnesses, and no clear motive. The attacks appeared to be random, with no pattern to the locations, times, or victims. The poisonings often occurred in areas with little foot traffic, reducing the chance of being seen. Surveillance technology was limited in the 1980s, and the killer left behind almost no physical evidence. The only clues were the bottles themselves, but even these yielded nothing useful. As months passed, theories about the perpetrator's identity and motive began to circulate. Some investigators speculated that the killer might have been a disgruntled employee, perhaps seeking revenge against a beverage company or vending machine operator. Others believed it was the work of a lone sociopath, someone who derived satisfaction from sowing on others' chaos and fears. There were even rumors of a group with a political or ideological agenda, though no demands or manifestos were ever issued. Some cases were suspected to be copycats, inspired by the original crimes but carried out independently. Despite the intense investigation, no arrests were ever made. The case remains unsolved to this day, a chilling mystery that continues to haunt Japan. The randomness and brutality of the attacks left a deep scar on the national psyche. For many, the Paraquat murders marked the end of an era, the moment when the innocence of everyday life was shattered by an act of senseless violence. The impact of the murders was profound and lasting. Vending machine companies invested heavily in new security measures, including tamper-evident packaging and improved machine design. The government tightened regulations on the sale and use of toxic chemicals like Paraquat and Disaquat. Public awareness campaigns educated people about the dangers of accepting unsealed or abandoned food and junk. The case also inspired a wave of media coverage, documentaries, and even fictionalized accounts cementing its place in Japanese criminal history. For the families of the victims, the pain endures. The names of those lost, Harry Otsu, Takashi Sakai, Haru Otsu, and the others are remembered not just as victims, but as reminders of how quickly and unexpectedly tragedy can strike. Their deaths are a stark warning of the dangers that can lurk in the most ordinary places. The Paraquat murders are a dark chapter in Japan's history, a series of crimes that defied explanation and shattered the nation's sense of security. They remind us of the importance of vigilance and the need for strong regulations, and the unexpectable nature of human behavior. Even today, as vending machines remain a fixture of Japan's life, the memory of those terrifying months in 1985 lingers in the background as a cautionary tale about trust, safety, and the fragility of everyday routines. If you found this story chilling, let's keep the conversation going. What do you think drove the perpetrator to commit these random acts of violence? Do you believe the case will ever be solved, or will it remain one of Japan's most enduring mysteries? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories from around the world. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there.